What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to why the UK military is on another level. So, here in the United States, we take a lot of pride in our military. And we basically spend all of our money on the US military. So we tend to not really learn much about other militaries around the world. We don't even bother. So today, I really want to take a look at this video by Battle Hub that really caught my attention. The title says, "The UK's military might is on another level," which sounds pretty interesting. As an American, I really don't know much of anything about this. So let's take a look.
So, how strong is Britain's military today? What weapons and technology does it bring to the battlefield? And just how much of its defense budget is spent on making sure the army has decent equipment for once? Let's break it all down. Despite economic pressures, the UK still ranks among the top military spenders in the world. For 2024, the defense budget stands at a hefty 70.2 billion US dollars, with
$70 billion? That's the UK military budget? That is huge. Like, I don't really know anymore what the budget is here in the United States. I think it might be the highest in the world. It's kind of, like, insane. Like, the only thing that I know my taxpayer money is going towards for sure is the US military. But, that's kind of like almost too much. We could probably divert some of our resources to making America better in different ways. I think we've got our military pretty much covered. But anyway, I think my point is $70 billion sounds like more than enough to create a country's huge, powerful, capable military. So I actually didn't even know that the UK spent this much on the military. That's really impressive.
Plans to increase that to 2.5% of GDP by 2030. The UK is aggressively expanding its presence in modern battlefields beyond just land, sea, and air. Because in the future, wars won't just be fought with tanks and jets, but with hackers sitting in dark rooms, fueled by energy drinks and questionable life choices.
What? I thought this video was making like a really good point. Like, that in the future, warfare, unfortunately, is going to be like fought using robots and drones and AI or cyber warfare. And then we're talking about like energy drinks and stuff. Okay.
However, while the UK is pushing into advanced tech, some soldiers might prefer if a bit more of that budget went toward making sure their gear actually works. Ask any British infantryman about their radio equipment, and you'll likely get a rant about how it has a signal worse than a pub's Wi-Fi on match day.
I've heard about stuff like this in the United States. Like, I think it's kind of inevitable for any country. Like, over the course of history, you're gonna have equipment that's just old, like no matter who you are. So for the UK, it's walkie-talkies? Okay.
The UK military may not be the biggest in numbers, but it prides itself on being highly trained and well-equipped.
Black, are you dumb? Are you getting rude to me?
Currently, it has around 150,000 active personnel, backed by 75,000 reservists, along with 37,000 civilian defense staff.
This is really, I'm actually very happy that I'm taking a look at this, because I had no concept of really how big the UK military is, how much you guys spend, how many people, and how much equipment you have. So that, as an American, again, like, this is just something we don't really talk about or bother learning about with other countries. I don't know. The military is a weird thing for America, because I think it's like that could be the like maybe the top number one thing that a lot of Americans are the most proud of in America, which is a strange thing. So I think we just don't even bother to really learn about militaries in other parts of the world, like the UK. So anyway, this is good.
Who make sure the whole machine keeps running. It's not exactly the size of the old British Empire's forces, but then again, it's easier to manage when you're not trying to control half the planet.
That is true. The British Empire, that could be a whole, like the military of Great Britain in the past and basically conquering the world. That could be its own video, I'm sure.
Military is divided into three main branches: the British Army, the Royal Navy, and the Royal Air Force.
Okay. This is important. This is actually very interesting stuff. In the UK, you have three branches of the military. I'm going to play that one more time because I want to pay attention to this.
Divided into three main branches: the British Army, the Royal Navy, and the Royal Air Force.
Okay.
Then, of course, you have the UK's Special Forces, which include the legendary SAS and SBS. These are some of the most elite special forces in the world, trained to handle everything from hostage rescues to covert operations deep behind enemy lines.
That is really cool. Yeah, because, again, in the United States, we have, like, the Secret Service and the FBI, and who would be the equivalent to the British SAS? I don't even know. Like, in the US, the Navy SEALs are kind of famous for being, like, this group of badass soldiers. Maybe that's kind of the same thing, sorta?
As for recruitment, let's just say the regional stereotypes hold strong. The Scots bring the aggression, fueled by generations of military tradition and quite possibly a deep-seated grudge against anyone south of Hadrian's Wall.
This is something that has confused me about the UK, and because the UK is comprised of Northern Ireland and Scotland and Wales and England. Does each country have its own military? You know what I mean? Is there a Scottish army? But is that part of the UK military as a whole, or this has always confused me a bit, how you guys do that and delegate that.
That they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Oh my God.
Okay.
That's Scotland for you.
The Welsh, known for their rural roots, are great at operating in tough terrain, though you'll never hear the end of the sheep jokes if you mention it. And then there's Northern Ireland, where certain members of the population grew up very familiar with urban combat scenarios. And of course, we can't forget the English, who, thanks to the state of knife crime in the country, probably receive basic training before they even enlist. If there's
Oh my God. I don't know if some of this video is like very serious and at the same time part comedy by the sound of it. Like, English people make great soldiers because they've had to deal with knife crime. Like, maybe there's a little truth to that, but my God. Again, this confuses me because is there an English branch of the military, or is it just all under the umbrella of the UK military? Because in the United States, like, you're not part of the Minnesota branch of the Army or the Ohio branch, even though there's 50 states, it's just U.S. military. So is it just UK military, and you might be from Scotland or Wales or something, but you're in the UK military? I would think that is how it works.
ever a supply chain issue, at least the British Army can fall back on their real national weapon.
Oh my God!
The British Army, while not the largest, is one of the most experienced and technologically sophisticated in Europe. The Challenger 2, a tank known for its impressive armor and accuracy, is being modernized into the Challenger 3, with improved firepower and digital targeting systems.
Oh my God, there's something interesting and kind of cool about seeing British military equipment, like just seeing, God forbid, like this stuff actually has to be used, but that like the types of tanks and technology you guys have, it's really interesting.
Britain currently operates 227 Challenger 2s, though once the upgrade is complete, only around 148 will be kept in service, because apparently Britain believes in quality over quantity, or
Yeah, I mean, they were talking about your walkie-talkies being out of date, but it sounds like in the UK you guys are updating stuff. You're updating your tanks to the latest technology.
just ran out of money again.
No money, no honey.
In terms of infantry fighting vehicles, the Army still uses the Warrior IFV, a vehicle that's been in service since the 1980s and is finally being phased out in favor of the newer Boxer AFV, with over 1,000 on order. The artillery branch relies on the AS-90 self-propelled howitzer, which provides heavy fire support, while the M270 MLRS delivers devastating long-range rocket strikes.
Oh my God. I've never seen, like, as far as these modern tanks, I really don't know anything about this at all. I don't know if we have this. It's really cool to see the modern stuff that the UK has.
Helicopters play a major role as well, with Apache AH-64E attack helicopters forming the backbone of air support, alongside a fleet of Chinooks for heavy transport and Wildcats for reconnaissance.
Oh my God.
The British Army might not have the sheer numbers of other world powers, but it ensures that its troops are backed by some of the most powerful land-based weaponry available.
Yeah, looks like you guys have plenty of power. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers, tanks, helicopters, missiles, all the stuff. Like, if you were going to war, you would 100% want the UK on your side.
Britain was once the world's dominant naval power, ruling the seas with a fleet that stretched across the globe. Today, while the Royal Navy is no longer the juggernaut of the old empire, it remains one of the most formidable naval forces in the world, with a modern fleet designed for power projection and rapid response.
Whoa. I've heard in history the UK was known for its navy. If you're going to make the British Empire and do what it did, you need an insane navy. And it seems like quite a bit of that has translated to the modern day. You guys still have this crazy naval forces.
At the heart of the Navy are its two Queen Elizabeth-class aircraft carriers, HMS Queen Elizabeth and HMS Prince of Wales.
Oh, wow.
These are the largest warships in British history, capable of carrying 40-plus aircraft.
I didn't even know that was a thing. A ship that can carry 40 fighter planes? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Including the F-35B Lightning II stealth fighter. With these carriers, the Royal Navy can deploy air power almost anywhere in the world, assuming, of course, the ships don't break down mid-mission, which has happened more than once.
Uh-oh. I mean, that's a tricky one, isn't it? Because it sounds like some of these ships have been around a while, but this is not the kind of thing you just replace quickly. This thing is probably... I don't even want to think about how much this thing would cost. Yeah, but at the same time, it's not good if it breaks down. But building one of these things, who do you even get to build one of these things again?
In terms of firepower, the Royal Navy operates 6 Type 45 destroyers, some of the most advanced air defense ships in the world. There's also the Type 23 frigates, soon to be replaced by the Type 26 and Type 31 frigates, ensuring...
Oh, see, so the UK is... It's hard to update those Elizabethan-class warships or whatever that carry 40 fighter jets, but... Sounds like you guys are updating quite a few things now in very recent.
That Britain's Navy stays ahead in maritime warfare. But the real muscle of the Royal Navy comes from its submarine fleet. The Astute-class attack submarines are among the most advanced in the world, capable of launching cruise missiles with pinpoint accuracy.
Oh, is this something that the UK kind of specializes in? You guys have some of the most advanced submarines in the world. I did not know that.
Meanwhile, the Vanguard-class submarines are responsible for carrying the UK's Trident nuclear deterrent, ensuring that if Britain ever finds itself in a truly dire situation, it has the capability to turn an enemy's capital city into a radioactive wasteland.
Oh my god. So there's a submarine in the UK that has a nuclear bomb in it. That's pretty terrifying. I mean, obviously, that's just the day and age we live in, and the U.S. has nuclear weapons, but yeah, I think Americans need to understand that, especially in a day and age where there are nuclear weapons, the entire concept of world war has been very much equalized. Like, yeah, the U.S. might have one of the biggest militaries in terms of personnel or the amount of airplanes or whatever, but the UK has nukes. Other countries around the world have nuclear bombs. That's probably the most terrifying thing. Obviously, like, it's probably good. It is, like, the UK should have nukes, just like we have nukes, just like they have nukes. No one person should probably have all the nukes, even though it's pretty terrifying that, like, Russia has nukes. It's all pretty scary if you think about it a little too much. That we could all just vaporize each other, like, in a day. But that is also a reality that we need to acknowledge.
The Royal Air Force, or RAF, is one of the most technologically advanced air forces in the world, with a fleet of highly capable fighter jets, bombers, and transport aircraft. The Eurofighter Typhoon serves as the main fighter aircraft, with 137 in service. Capable of engaging air and ground targets with deadly precision. Alongside it, the F-35B Lightning II, Britain's new stealth fighter, is slowly being integrated into full service.
This is the British stealth fighter. I think we have some kind of American version of this. I've never seen, like, the British. Because I know of, like, stealth, really flat, futuristic looking jets.
With 48 currently active and a total of 138 planned, assuming the government doesn't change its mind for the 10th time. For strategic operations, the RAF operates a fleet of heavy transport aircraft, including C-17 Globemasters and A-400M Atlas, ensuring that British forces can be deployed anywhere in the world at a moment's notice.
Oh my god, these are like the warships of the sky. These are like, these airplanes look, I mean, it's called the frickin' Atlas. They're huge.
The Voyager KC-2/KC-3 provides aerial refueling, extending the reach of Britain's fighter jets and bombers. One area where the RAF is investing heavily is in unmanned aerial systems, with new drone programs being developed to complement traditional air power.
So the UK is getting on this as well. That makes sense. It sounds like the UK's military has made it a priority to stay up to date, except for walkie-talkies, I guess. But joking aside, the whole drone thing, I think Americans who do know about this know about it because of Ukraine-Russia war and the use of drones and how that's just becoming normal, and it's terrifying. But obviously something, like, if that's the way it's going, if that's the way it's headed, you gotta, just because you don't like it, like, doesn't mean you can't afford to use it. So the UK has these autonomous drone things too.
Because, let's face it, why risk a pilot when you can just send a flying robot instead? The UK possesses around 225 nuclear warheads, with about 120 actively deployed at any given time. These are delivered via Trident II D5 submarine-launched ballistic missiles, housed on the Vanguard-class submarines. The UK isn't just a military power, it's deeply tied into global alliances. As a key NATO member, it actually pays its 2% GDP defense bill, unlike some neighbors. It's also part of Five Eyes, sharing intelligence with the US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Britain's closest military partner is the United States, with joint programs like the F-35 and the AUKUS Pact. And through the Commonwealth, it keeps close ties with nations like India and Australia. The empire may be gone, but the UK still knows how to play the global power game.
Wow. My God. Yeah, no kidding. I always knew the UK, it's one of the biggest, most successful countries in the world. I assumed you guys had a good military, but this actually gave me a very real, very visceral idea of how good a military you guys have. It looks incredible. Um, and I'm happy to say that the United States and the UK are allies. And so it actually makes me feel better that the UK like has an incredible military and learning about it. So yeah, this was extremely impressive and good to finally like know more about this stuff. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on the UK's military, especially now, where it's the level it's at now. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to the UK and seeing things from the UK I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.